What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 80 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my dining room. And today, I just want to give my week 8 picks in the NFL. Last week, I went 10-3, so a pretty good week. Overall, I'm 65-42 on the season. So let's dive into it. Let's start with tonight's game, the Thursday night game, the Packers versus the Cardinals. This is a good game. You got the Packers 6-1. The Cardinals are undefeated at 7-0. And Aaron Rodgers is going to the desert. He's going to be without his main receiver, Davante Adams, which isn't too good for the Packers. You know, he's a big part of that offense. And I know in history that Aaron Rodgers struggles whenever he goes to Arizona to play. However, I could see it being a little bit of a close game and him finding ways to make it work even without Adams, maybe using Aaron Jones and running the ball more. But the Cardinals are just such a hot team, and they've only really struggled like one game out of the season this year. So I am going to take the Cardinals here. I'm going to take them to win 34-24. On to the Sunday games. We have the Panthers versus the Falcons. This is an NFC South rivalry. Now, the Panthers have just looked awful. They started 3-0. They've lost 4 straight, and I think that's going to continue on Sunday. Now, the Falcons weren't projected to be that good, and they still aren't that good. They're 3-3, but they've won 2 out of their last 3 games. They're playing at home. I do like the Falcons here, so give me the Falcons to win 27-20. Next is the Titans versus the Colts. This is a AFC South rivalry. They will be playing in Indianapolis at the Colts' home. I know the Titans beat them earlier in the season, and I think they're going to do it again. The Titans are a really hot football team right now. They started off 2-2. They've been running the ball really well. Their defense has been improving every week, and I think they're going to win again this week, and they're going to beat the Colts. I know the Colts have won the last 3 or 4 games, so they're feeling good about themselves too. I could see this being back and forth. I could see it being a blowout, but, you know, my prediction is that this will be a back and forth game. It'll be somewhat close. So I'm going to go with the Titans here, winning 35-27. Next is the Dolphins versus the Bills. Now, this is an AFC East rivalry game. The Bills shut out the Dolphins. They smoked them in the beginning of the year. And, you know, maybe it'll happen again. I could honestly see it happening again. Nothing impresses me about the Dolphins at all. They're on a 6-game losing streak. They just can't seem to get anything going at all. The Bills are coming off a bye week after a tough loss to the Titans, and they're looking to bounce back, and I think they get the job done here. And I think they do it in a pretty dominant way. So give me the Bills to win here, 37-17. Next is the Bengals versus the Jets. The Bengals are red hot right now. They just beat the crap out of the Ravens, which no one really picked them to win. And they're going against a Jets team that's just sorry. There's no quarterback for the Jets right now. I know they just signed Joe Flacco, but is he going to be playing right away on Sunday? I really don't know because Zach Wilson's hurt. They might go with Mike White, who's real inexperienced. And I just don't see the Jets really being able to do anything against this Panthers or Bengals team. You know, the Bengals have looked really sharp here. So it does not surprise me if the Bengals completely blow out the Jets. So give me the Bengals to win here, 31-9. Next is the Steelers taking on the Browns. Now, the Steelers are going to be coming off a bye week. They've won 2 straight. They're feeling pretty good. They're back at 500. They're going to be taking on a Browns team that I'm pretty sure Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt aren't going to start. Pretty sure quarterback Baker Mayfield won't be starting, and I'm going to be pretty sure it's Case Keenum. But you know what? The Browns won a game against the Broncos just last week without all those guys in. And yes, I know that they did beat the Broncos, who have been spiraling out of control lately. But, you know, I think this is a game that the Browns can win and get the upset on. I know the Browns are favorited to win because they're at home. But, you know, they don't have a lot of their starters back at all. So Pittsburgh should be able to win this. But I think the Browns are going to give them a problem here and get the win. So I'm going to pick the Browns 24-20. Next is the Eagles taking on the Lions. You guys know I'm not picking for the Eagles ever. I'm going to be picking the Lions, but I'll tell you why. The Lions are due for a win. They're 0-7, and I could see this being the game that they get back on track. They played the Rams really tough the other week, and out of their 7 losses, at least 4 or 5 games, they were right in there. I mean, they were hanging in there with the Rams majority of the game. So I think if they can hang in there with the Rams on the road, they could definitely hang in with the Eagles at home. So I'm going to take the Lions to win here. I'm going to go by the score of 23-20. Next is the Rams taking on the Texans. Now, we saw the Rams. They've been dominant all year. The Texans have lost 6 straight. There's really no clear path of direction on where that team's going. I mean, clearly they're going to like a top 3 draft pick. But, the Texans did play really tough against the Cardinals the other week. But eventually, after the first quarter, the Cardinals just dominated. And I can maybe see the Texans, doing the same thing to the Rams, playing tough at first, and the Rams take over. And I think that's what's going to happen. So give me the Rams to win here, 35-10. Next is the 49ers versus the Bears. 2 teams that are just question marks. The Bears have not looked good. They lost their last 2 straight. They got obliterated against the Bucs. 49ers started 2-0. Now they're 2-4. They just haven't looked good at all. They haven't found a rhythm. But someone's got to win this game. And honestly, I'm going to pick the Bears. They are at home, and I just think they want it more than the 49ers. I feel like the 49ers aren't playing with any confidence right now, and neither are the Bears. But I think this is a game that they could bounce back, get their rookie quarterback, Justin Fields, a win, make them feel good about themselves. So I'm going to have to take the Bears here. I'm going to go Bears winning this game 27-23. Next is the Patriots taking on the Chargers. I remember last year the Patriots beat the Chargers 45-0. That was Justin Herbert's rookie year, and now Justin Herbert's gotten way better, and he's playing levels ahead of what he was last year, even though he was fantastic in his rookie season. And they're coming off a bye week. They're healthy now. I just see Justin Fields picking apart that Patriots secondary all afternoon. And I don't really see the Patriots finding a way to stop the Chargers. I mean, if you look who the Patriots beat, they beat the Jets twice, which really isn't an accomplishment. And they beat the Texans, which the Texans literally almost beat them. They just blew the game in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to have to take the Chargers here. I think the Chargers get the job done. I'm going to go 35-24 for the Chargers getting the win. Next is the Jaguars taking on the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks have looked awful since Russell Wilson got hurt. They weren't that good anyway with him. They were 2-3 with him starting, but at least he could move the ball and give them a chance. But with Geno Smith, Geno hasn't been playing bad. He's just been looking like he's been playing scared. He's been trying to play too conservative instead of really letting his talent take over. And the Jaguars, they're coming off a bye week after a big win, their first win of the season, and they're feeling pretty good, but they have to go on the road to Seattle. And I know Seattle's been bad at home this year because, they just haven't gotten anything together. But one team's got to win. And, I think it's going to be the Seahawks. And I think it's going to be an ugly game. I don't really see this being a high-scoring game at all. This game could go either way. If the Jags win, I'm not surprised. But I think the Seahawks are due for a win with Geno Smith at quarterback. And I think they get it done Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to take the Seahawks here, 20-17. Next is the Buccaneers versus the Saints. Now, this is a classic NFC South rivalry. The Buccaneers are 6-1. They've been rolling. But the Saints have been quietly good, too. They're 4-2. And, if this is tough. I mean, most of the times these teams split every year. They usually go 1-1 against each other. And, the Bucs are a heavy favorite to beat the Saints. But I'm going to go against the crowd. I'm going to fade the Bucs, and I'm actually going to pick the Saints here. I'm going to pick the Saints to get an upset win by the score of 31-28. 31 points might be a little too much for the Saints, but I feel like whenever these two teams play, it's always a high-scoring game. Next is the Washington football team taking on the Broncos. Now, Washington's been absolutely horrible. The Broncos looked good at 3-0, and then they lost 4 straight to go 3-4. I think the Broncos are due for a win, though. They're at home. They're not playing a good Washington defense or offense at all. I think their defense can make noise against this Washington offense. And I don't really think Washington's offense can move the ball that well against this Broncos defense. So give me the Broncos to win here in a close one, 23-17. Next is my Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is going to be a really good game. The Cowboys and Vikings are both coming off their bye weeks. The Cowboys have won 5 straight. They're 5-1. Meanwhile, the Vikings are 3-3. The Vikings have won 2 straight. And the games that they've lost, they've only lost by a couple points. They haven't really gotten beaten badly this year. They almost handed Arizona their first loss of the season, but they missed a field goal. So they play tough. I expect this being a really close game. But I'm going to have to side with my Cowboys, of course. Let's go. 31-27. Cowboys is that's my score for that game. And finally, the Monday night game, we have the Giants taking on the Chiefs. Both teams are just horrible. I wouldn't say the Chiefs are that horrible. They're just struggling right now. They can't really get it together. But I think this is the game that they bounce back. They're playing at home. I think Patrick Mahomes is due to have a big night. And I could see Daniel Jones moving the ball against this Chiefs defense, no doubt about it. But in the end, I'm going to have to roll with the Chiefs here. I'm going to go 34-20 for the Chiefs win. And last but not least, I have to mention the two teams that are on their bye weeks are the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. They will be playing next week because they have this week off. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know what your guys' picks are. My lock of the week is going to be the Rams over the Texans, and my upset of the week is going to be the Saints over the Bucks. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and like my content, do whatever you can to promote my page. Thank you and have a great day.